Hello YouTubers, I thought I'd just run a short video making Tamiya's 148 Royal Naval Sea Harrier FRS1. Now there's quite a few videos of unboxing ceremonies for this one and the like, but what I decided to do is I've done it basically in phases and to give a short review of it. What I've decided to do is I'm going for a freehand hand paint job on all of this, and it's just a quick review to see what you think of it, see what I think of it, and if you're thinking of buying this set, it's quite good. It'll set you back about, well, I paid £13.25 for this, but by the time you get all your paints ready and buy all that, I think it worked out about £35. So we'll take a little bit of time now and we'll look at this first part, which is phase one, and go from there. I've done the fuselage, engine, pilot, and the nozzles, the vertical takeoff nozzles, which are actually a bit of a nightmare. So let's just go through what we've done on phase one and have a look at that. Now, most jet fighters, you generally start, sorry I just hit the tripod, with the pilot. But we started with the engine on this. This is a Rolls-Royce Pegasus engine, a jet engine. And what Tamiya have done is, if you look sort of here, all the nozzles on a Harrier, to make it take off vertically, need to twist these nozzles, which work in unison, or also in a real one. So Tamiya have decided they've got a mechanism here that you can actually twist these nozzles with. The mechanism's really easy to put together, but to be honest with you, it doesn't work. And when you actually fit the nozzles to the fuselage, it's a bit dark, but never mind, they will actually move. I've actually glued them in place, and I've done that for a reason, because they're just simply going to drop off the model and it will be a pain in the arse. They are extremely fiddly. The gunmetal here, when it's in the fuselage, you can't actually see it, and this is also gunmetal here with a flat aluminium colouring here. This actually goes together really nicely. It's really quite easy, and if you sort of research, I use Haynes's Harrier manual as research. It's quite smart. It's quite smart, and it does look really quite good. Now, I started this early this morning. In fact, I started about 7 o'clock this morning on this job. Now, I planned this strategically yesterday and decided what I want to do. There's 3 different colourings, but this is all part of my sort of Falklands aeroplane theme. And I chose this 148 as the flagship for that. Now, I was a bit dubious about some of these colours after a bit of research. Most of this was pretty accurate, but they actually wanted you to paint the life jacket royal blue, which really isn't going to work, to be honest. If we look there, like, royal blue. The white gloves I wasn't sure would work, but they do. And by the time you got it all together, it's quite good. It does look alright, believe it or not. Now, with the engine and the pilot complete, painted, assembled, actually putting the fuselage together isn't too difficult. All the parts on this, as with most Tamiya models, fit really well. There was no trouble lining the engine up, all the parts, and it was lovely. Hardly any flash, and it just fit together just right. I really do think it's a really good model. Now, as you can see, with the pilot, I opted, instead of having the buff colour, which is up around, supposed to be on the top of this seat, I did away with that. They wanted, or so according to the instructions, the visor to be royal blue, which didn't work at all. It would be ridiculous. Again, I said I wasn't sure about the white gloves, but they seem okay actually. And the white little pads on his calves of his legs there, that seemed to work well. And I think you'll agree, I think that the yellow life jacket worked really quite well. as you can see, the fittings are quite good. There is a bit of flash here, which I'll deal with later. And actually, these two air intakes, they're a bit of a swine to line up together, and there's a slight, move it forward a bit for you, there's a slight gap in this one. It doesn't need any filler, just a bit thicker paint will be fine. Now, the engine actually looks quite good. On the finished model, you can either have this sort of, there's a flap here that goes over the top of it, you can either have it open or closed. I'm going to have this one open and with gear down. But that looks quite nice, and I don't think you can see up into the air vents actually. No, I probably can't get close enough to the camera. Now these nozzles, they really are a pain, and you really, the gaps, these are all in sort of two pieces, and the gaps are a real pain in the backside. You can mess about with them all day if you like, but it won't get you very far. I've actually glued them into place because simply they're supposed to rotate, but they will drop off, and that'll be the end of that, and they'll be lost from the model. But I think it's quite a nice model. I think it's quite good. For the majority, I've used Tamiya paints so far. How many different greys you need in it is, well, anyone's guess. And I've used some of the Games Workshop Citadel paints as well. Actually, I did for the nose cone now, actually, which I've painted freehand. It doesn't look too bad. Probably needs another coat, levelling off a bit. But apart from that, as a 1/48 scale model, I'd say it was pretty good. Hopefully by tomorrow, I think what I'll do is paint the entire fuselage the colours it should be and have it how I want it, and we'll go from there, because I think it'll be really awkward. It's going to be a masking nightmare actually, because the underbelly's got to be white. And obviously the top, it was supposed to be like a bluey grey, but we studied the 1982 videos of the Falkland Islands, where these were obviously our primary fighters, and they were a very dull grey, so that's what we're going to do. So by tomorrow I should have this all done and looking lovely.